nothing but against the party.
Like that up, Slim. Why you acting like that?
I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
Yo, here we go. Welcome to Warriors Live. My name is Eddie Law. That's Fred Kirby. We're the Keyboard Warriors shooting the shit here on a Wednesday night. It is March, Jesus Christ, April 7th. The year is flying by already. It seems like 2021 is just like, fuck y'all. We ain't waiting. We're going to keep flying. Yeah. So, and for those that are watching us and watching One FC, we really appreciate it. I know I forgot it was going to be on tonight, dude. Like, I know I saw some shit, but like straight up, I've completely spaced on One FC being on tonight. So, even if we have limited people showing up, I appreciate every single one of you guys. Otis already in the comment section. What's up, dude? Anyway.
Is this the first episode on TNT?
Yeah, first TNT. Oh no, second. Otis went now. Otis is the first or second. I want to say it's second, but it might be the first shit.
Okay.
But I know Demetrius Johnson's Demetrius Johnson headlining. And like a bunch of Russian cats. Fucking they got Jimmy Smith on the call. Overall, they're just trying to make a big show out of it. And they really should. On TNT, it's like the UFC on ABC. I know Bellator was on Showtime. Like all these organizations moving up, man. Even though Bellator is all crazy.
Let's start the conversation right there then, since people are watching one tonight and one starting. Let me ask you, do you think this will work for one? I mean, have we not seen this time and time again where like really there's barely room for the UFC and Bellator has somehow seems like they might be able to play that WCW role to the WWF old school 90s references type vibe. But I don't the ECW to keep going with these these wrestling references. The ECW never really ever caught all. There was only the WWF and then WCW kind of hung in there, and there was a shitload of other ones, but nobody ever really made it. With MMA, dog, we've had Affliction, Strike Force, fucking Elite XC. I mean, they have came and they went, and they've all had some pretty big stars. I mean, you must remember, Strike Force had fucking DC and fucking Pretty Boy Luke and tons of stars came from Strike Force, and they still look belly up.
What's up, Laura? She says, "I will not stand for one championship slander, you pasty ass bitch."
ooh. Lord.
Oh, you know what he means.
Listen, I didn't fucking slander it. I'm asking a question. I said, is it gonna make it?
Right. Oh, I stepped away from one. It comes to see Fred say nice things about Masvidal on screen when he does. Oh man. Oh, this is the first for TNT. All right, cool.
Okay.
All right, the comment section's already flying, dude. Text, what's up, dude? Bring back the paid endorsement of the shorts for fighters. We've been saying that forever, but yeah,
it's not going to happen. And don't worry, we'll get to that Venom shit here in just a little bit. But that's another big thing.
As far as One FC making it on TNT, they need something incredible, in my opinion, to happen tonight to get people's attention. Right? There's no NBA on TNT tonight, obviously. But there's no. I mean, there is way later. There's no football on right now. Baseball, everyone watches opening day and then forgets about it until the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no other show in town. And on a Wednesday night, TNT has everybody's eyes as far as the sport, and then One FC gets that. So, in order to make it, they need something big tonight, man. Like big.
But here's the problem. The reality is MMA is sort of niche, anyways.
Absolutely.
Is having 20% of a niche audience enough to keep it going? I'm not trying to be a party pooper. I'm just saying we've seen this time and time again. How successful do we think one will be on TNT? Do we think they'll actually stick around and be like a long shareholder or a long-standing fucking product on that television channel? Or do we think that 6 months to a year from now this deal's done and they're back in Asia?
Most recognizable name in MMA is UFC, like easily, bar none. There's nobody else, right? Like people have fucked around and say, I train you, or do you train UFC? I've been asked that question. Do you train UFC? And I'm like, are you serious? Like, yeah, do you train UFC? People think MMA is UFC. It's hard to break that.
Well,
You know what I mean?
and we're going to get into this again here in a little bit, just with the Jon Jones things
Yeah.
and the numbers and the money. But y'all have to understand. Listen, keep this in perspective, man. DJ, and this means something because that's the main event tonight. DJ is pretty much who they're at. And I got to hand it to them. They've got DJ in the main event. They've got Eddie Alvarez in the co-main. They're definitely striking with as many American irons as they can, which is obviously what they need to do. But at the grand scheme of things, keep in mind, the UFC made a monumental deal by trading DJ for a very typically boring Ben Askren. Now, you got to ask yourself, a lot of people hate the UFC, and it's very trendy to hate the UFC, and it's very trendy to make the UFC like the man, and they're always trying to hold you down. At the end of the day, all the UFC really gives a shit about, and I mean, just being completely fair, I think that maybe DW and a few people actually sort of care about the sport that they have literally sort of helped build. But for the most part, it's about making money. The reason they traded DJ is because he just did not put asses in seats and people did not pay to watch him fight. That was a problem when he had the UFC machine behind him. I would imagine that's still a problem with the one championship machine behind him. So at the end of the day, how many people other than the hardcores on MMA Twitter are really going to tune in tonight to watch Demetrius Johnson fight on TNT? You know?
And you know, it's just that's, I mean, to the same point. It's hard to break into. It's hard to beat the UFC at anything, right? Now, do I think they stay with TNT for a little bit? I think TNT is gonna, you know, test the water, see how it goes, and then, you know, if the numbers are there and all that, then we keep, you know, they keep it going. But Bellator's changed networks like 30 times. Combate's changed networks like 30 times, and they're super small. Although very exciting, to be honest with you guys. Bellator, yeah, Bellator's over in Showtime now. ONE FC's actually changed a couple times. I don't remember the last time PFL was on TV. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hard to stick. It's hard to stick.
Yeah. So. The truth is, the reason that Bellator even makes it is because of all the UFC names they have. I mean, that's just the facts of it all. Like, they did raise a couple, like, you know, they have Pitbull, Patricio Pitbull. They have Michael Chandler, they had a few people that they grew up, but really like homegrown, but really what really brought it's that ex-UFC name, man. I mean, even one championship tonight, the two big guys that they're hanging their whole hat on are ex-UFC guys, but the problem is they're ex-UFC fighters for a reason, man.
And then everyone knows them from the UFC, so the UFC still like remember when they still do this shit, but on UFC broadcasts, they're not allowed to say, oh, he comes from Bellator. They'll say, oh, he comes from another promotion. Like Michael Chandler, they're like, oh, he was a champion in another promotion.
Oh, yeah.
Like, UFC, Bellator, they say UFC all the time because they know they can do fuck all about it.
Oh, they're using that as the promotion angle. Former UFC flyweight champion, flyweight GOAT, Demetrius Johnson, blah, blah. So, anyways, sorry to wasn't trying to shit on anybody's fucking ONE parade. I hope that ONE does great. I was just wondering because we have seen this story over and over again. I hope quite the opposite. I mean, more MMA on American TV works for fucking us, right? I hope it's fucking successful as it could possibly be. But I wonder.
The more successful every single one of these promotions is, the better the product overall is going to be.
It's just like I've seen so many promotions come and put in so much money and eventually just bite the dust. Like Bellator seemed to be the one. And to be fair, I think they got the perfect storm of, you know, Scott Coker, a dude who sort of knows what he's doing, who's already ran one fucking company into the ground. They got the financial backers. They've got enough ex-UFC stars. And I think there's enough meat on the bone for us to still sort of want to tune into Bellator and watch their product. Again, the PFL, eventually it's curtains. They might have a good product, but I think it's just eventually they're going to bite the dust. And, you know, I don't think ONE will bite the dust, but I don't know how long they'll be on North American TV.
Yeah, we'll see, man. I really want ONE to be good. Honestly, I want Ryzen to be on American TV. That's a good product. I mean, because other than the freak show fights, where they let what's her name, Gabby Garcia beat the shit out of everyone's grandma. Other than that, and even that, people tune in to watch that. But
no,
It's a good product.
I was just going to say, honestly, we sort of need to. We have a very strange, weird dichotomy in this country with our combat sports sort of vibe. Because the truth is, right, here's the reality, right? The truth is, one FC is going to put on, they're just one now, right? They're not one
They're
FC
one.
anymore.
Yeah.
They're just one, for fuck's sakes. Okay. One is going to put on a very good fight card tonight with some very high level mixed martial artists from Eddie Alvarez to fucking Demetrius Johnson, some little Asian cats that I'm not hip to that are probably fantastic fighters, the whole most of it, right? Now, that being what it is, we have to ask ourselves why, when Ben Askren boxes a YouTube star, it's going to do 100 times the number.
Way more.
So, like, but on the same token, if Habib comes back and fights somebody, it'll do millions of views too. When Tyson Fury fights, when Canelo fights. So there's this weird dichotomy where when greatness is shown, we definitely show up. And again, we're going to get to the Jon Jones thing with this whole greatness conversation in a minute. But we also have a real weak spot for a freak show.
Right.
It's sort of like you need that perfect balance to really sort of bring them in. Because again, ONE FC has a really fine product. Yeah. But the truth is the numbers are probably going to not be that great. Ben Askren boxing Jake Paul is a cunt hair away from being a literal joke. But it's going to do some serious fucking numbers.
There's a reason they're doing it.
People are really going to pay to watch that shit. You're talking millions of dollars of revenue on that shit. So it's a weird dichotomy. I don't know where we stand as fight fans in this country. Do we care about real fights, or do we care about horse shit, or is it just some weird in between fucking vibe?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. There's really no way to I mean, there's no real way to figure that out, right? I mean, the hardcore fans, you and I, we love this one stuff. We love the PFL stuff. We love the Bellator stuff. But the what do they call it? The casual fan is not at all.
Here's the deal, right? All the talent that has come through the Ultimate Fighter, all the champions, all the greatness, by far and away, the biggest season of the Ultimate Fighter, and probably will be forever, was the season that Kimbo Slice was on.
Oh, easily.
And that's because he was a YouTube Street Fighter sensation. So it's like, I don't know what that means, man, but the numbers don't lie. Like, to this day, and I remember I was stoked as fuck too when I found out that Kimbo was going to be doing the Ultimate Fighter. I couldn't fucking wait to see him fight in the cage. Brock Lesnar, probably one of the biggest selling fucking MMA fighters of all fucking time. You know, what are you going to do?
Yeah, we'll see how it goes, man. I wish one of the best of luck. I really hope to make it big, dude.
Same. Let it be very known, Laura, that I am fucking rooting for one. I just have my fucking doubts on how good they might actually do in the North American landscape. Plus, again, North American fans are cunts too. 100%. Most of them, you know, us on Twitter, the fucking dope people watching the show, we know what's up. But most of the North American casual dickheads are going to be like, ONE FC on TNT. I'd rather watch 8 Million Ways to Die.
Well, they're turning to that the circus. What do they call it? Is it Cam Soda that does those MMA fights too, with the weirdo guys?
That was fucked.
Let
me tell you something. I for one am the type that doesn't like mixing certain things with like porn and horniness. There's only a few things. Daddy Fred is down to get a hog suck at most times during the day, but let me tell you something. When I'm hungry, or when I'm watching the fights, get the fuck away from me. Especially if it's a big fight. I don't give a fuck if Rihanna is in the room about to put the throat muscle to me. If a motherfucking Conor McGregor fight is about to start, bitch, get away from me for a minute.
Sit down,
for a minute. Get the fuck. The last thing I need is hoes dancing naked. If it's a fight that I really want to watch, and if I'm really excited about it, that's one of the few times in life where it's like, ho, get away from me for a minute. Don't even sit next to me for real. Don't be trying to rub my leg. Don't be trying to walk around. You can put all the panties on you want. For the next fucking 10, 15 minutes, you need to go sit down somewhere. I'm busy.
Exactly. No, you're right.
Sorry, I ain't horny right now. I got my adrenaline's rushing for this shit. It's the one time where it's like, don't fool with me.
After the fight, it's on. All right, real quick on the one card, one on TNT card, the prelims. Omar Kane defeats Patrick Smith by TKO earlier in the night or today, first round. Then Enrico Kell defeats Chingiz Alazov via split decision, and then and actually I caught like the first couple minutes of this fight. The Remy Magomed Daliev against Tyler McGuire, who came out to Bendo's Awesome God walkout song. So whatever. And then I think right now they're about to get the Muay Thai fight. Roteng Jitwangan Nan against Daniel Williams. So
I did hear that dude was something special.
He's something. I'm no kidding. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna watch that shit after the show.
I heard he was at least the Muay Thai guy with a really hard name to pronounce.
Right. And then Coleman, Eddie Alvarez against Yuri Lapicus, and then Adriano Moraes against Demetrius Johnson. Right, DJ. Jesus Christ. All right. I'm gonna cut you on all the comments here. Holland versus Vittori, Dern versus Ansarov. We'll talk about it this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
What else we got? Jimmy Smith made his WWE debut on NXT TakeOver. WWE's trying to get that MMA crowd. Right, MMA. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. One of the I not the fucking toot my own horn, but back in the day, I used to do a little podcast and we used to interview fighters and fucking personalities the whole night. By far, one of my favorite podcasts I ever did was with Jimmy Smith.
That was so good.
He was one of the coolest dudes who probably had all the right in the world to big time us and treat us like shitbirds, but he actually didn't. He was super fucking cool. He did the podcast. He was super cool. And he's very, very good at his job. So that's dope, man. It's really cool to see Jimmy Smith getting a good opportunity somewhere where he should get that money. He's fucking fantastic at what he does.
And never understood why the UFC let him go. Maybe they thought he was like a Rogan clone or some shit, but I thought he was really good. I thought they should have kept him over either Fitzgerald or the other guy there.
I heard that they were just trying to sign a lot more fighters. That was the whole deal for them. And they were just like, they wanted more ex-fighters. I mean, if you notice, a lot of the commentary team fucking the Irish Dragon, it's like all fighters. What the fuck?
They're good though. I can't knock them.
Yeah.
Usman still juicing. There you go. One is like backyard wrestling promo. Sorta. It's the first for TNT, right? TNT's trying to break into MMA. All the Spike in the old days, right? But they took they're a little late, but we'll see what happens. One has some serious talent though. Sign ladies want to watch. They got a lot of fucking talent over there, dude. A lot of talent at one. Like they just need to be promoted correctly. 20% is a starting point. They have a lot of work to do, but they have the talent pool. They do need to learn English, though. That's another thing about the American audience. Very difficult to break in here if you don't know English. Like Jose Aldo would have been a massive, bigger star than he was if he spoke English. Let's be real. Definition of a monopoly UFC.
I disagree, kind of though.
I'll say they dominate the market.
But a monopoly would be complete. Like you're literally the only show in town, right? Like I mean, as long as Bellator exists, I dig what you're saying because Bellator's nowhere near the level. But I mean, bro, you know, if you don't like the UFC, look, we got Jon Jones talking about taking a walk right now. The fact that he could go get signed tomorrow, I mean, I'm not a very smart man, but isn't that the definition of the UFC not having a monopoly on the market? And now he's not going to get paid what he would in the UFC, but for fuck's sakes, that he still can ply his trade elsewhere.
Right. I mean, shit, if he left and went to Bellator, they'd be like, you can get your own sponsors, and he'd get massive money off of that, but he won't get the same fight check, I guess. DJ ducked the Dillashaw match.
I mean, listen, Otis, I tell you what, I'm with you, buddy. I think that a lot of the MMA community would tell us to shut the fuck up about that, but I'm with you. I won't say he ducked it, but
he didn't try to get it.
He should have took it, man.
Yeah,
that would have been a big fight for him in the right organization and stuff. And yeah, I won't say he ducked it, but that was definitely a huge missed opportunity for DJ. I feel.
Till's Instagram post about Vittori. Otis, he called him Lord of the Rings, the Lord of the Rings orc. I'm gonna look that up in a minute.
I seen something on Instagram, and it was just something that Kevin Holland posted. He posted something like, yo, Team Habib, can you corner me this weekend? And like, I don't know if it was really a response from Habib, but I gotta say, I am sort of starting to turn the corner on Habib. He tried to say, yo, brother, with Spaghetti Man, you won't need to wrestle. And I'm like, yo, did Habib just call Vittori Spaghetti Man? And is that even politically correct? Like, that's sort of racist.
I don't know. That's a little racist, but
you can't cancel Habib though. But the fact that he called Vettori Spaghetti Man is fucking amazing.
That is pretty goddamn good. Let me see. What the fuck? I'm trying to find the work thing. Oh, it is. If you can send. Oh, here it is. All right, let me put it on the screen for you guys. I mean, it's not even a picture of Vittori, but it's actually all right. He goes, that Marvin Vittori. What's up with you, mate? You missing a few cells or something? If only you fucking knew what I went through this camp to get to fight you. Oh, I guess Vittori was talking shit. Inside and outside the gym. Let's have it right, mate. You were gonna be my easiest fight. You're a walking punching bag who's tough. Nothing more, nothing less. So keep your bitter mouth shut. For you or anyone to even think for 1 minute I'd pull out of a fight with some bullshit excuse makes me howl. Every fight camp, fuck me. Every fight camp, I guarantee I trained through way harsher injuries than you and 90% of the roster. What you want me to do? I broke my fucking collarbone, you utter moron. Make sure you win Saturday. And here's some advice, you ugly looking Lord of the Rings orc motherfucker. Just be happy for your peers. Be happy the fact Adesanya beat you. Be happy the fact I was going to school you. And be happy you're at the top in one of the most devastating sports in the world. Stop being a hater, you bum. And you're not from Italy. You've lived in California most of your life, you lying bastard. I'll tag you in my extra so you can sleep easy tonight.
Oh, shit.
Here's the thing. That reminds me of Chael Sonnen talking about Anderson Silva at the press conference. And he goes, Anderson Silva's not from Brazil. He lives in a mansion in Beverly Hills. Like, he's not wrong. That's absolutely true.
Yeah, so, motherfucker start looking at Anderson like, say, Jack, you have been in California for a long time, haven't you?
So that's the best. To me, that's the best kind of shit talk. Is when you hit him with something funny, and then truth. That's funny.
I mean, look. At the end of the day, I don't know exactly what Vettori said if he accused Till of lying. But again, we do gotta sort of kill this narrative. It's like I think we were talking about this last week about this idea that Jon Jones is afraid of Ngannou. Again,
right.
we're about to get into all that. One thing is for sure, he's not afraid of Ngannou.
Right.
Win, lose, or draw. Win, lose, or draw. Darren Till did not lie about being hurt because he was afraid that Vettori was going to beat him up. Again, ask yourself who fucking Darren Till has been in the cage with. If you're just looking at the various levels of competition, it's not even close. He's not afraid of Vettori. He's not. I mean, again, I don't know if that's what Vettori said or implied either. Maybe Darren Till sort of jumping to conclusions and just jump. Okay. What did he do?
So Vettori, he was talking at media day because he fights this weekend at media day. He said, "quote I am getting more suspicious by the day of this thing. I expect him to put out the X-ray of his collarbone or some stuff. I'm getting a little suspicious. And Derek Brunson coming up this high, I don't know. Derek Brunson sounds like a little better matchup than myself, so I get suspicious, but it's okay. I have a fight, and now the next thing is to put on the best performance of my life Saturday night." End quote. So basically, he's like suspicious of the injury thing. Is what he's saying.
All right, so I get it from Till, like, bro, suspicious of what?
Suspicious
of what, bro? Like, yeah, I get it. And I feel like Till's justified. like, come on, bro. At the end of the day, it's one thing for the keyboard warriors, the internet trolls, to sit here and talk shit. You another fighter. You for real suspicious, dog?
Right.
You for real think I'm afraid to fight you, homeboy? You really think I lied, motherfucker? You out your fucking mind? You really think I lied about breaking my collarbone? Right. Not to mention, if I did break my collarbone, I'm probably in major pain. I'm hurting like shit. I see this comment. It's like, motherfucker, I'd like nothing more than to come fight you, cocksucker. I was training my tits off to come beat the fuck out of you. I broke my shit, and now you're like, oh, you're suspicious. Yeah, bro, I'm afraid of you. Like, I mean, we gotta stop that narrative, dog. Like the only motherfucker I would ever accuse on some real shit of being afraid. All bullshit aside, and I'm sorry, Jermaine Durand, to me, you look funny in the light. You flat said, I ain't fighting that bitch. I'll give up the belt and all.
Here's your belt.
She flat said, no, I ain't fighting her, and sort of made a bullshit excuse. Short of that, dog, ain't none of these men and women afraid to fight one another. Might not be the greatest, like Colby. He's on some weirdo shit right now, trying to play his head. But all things being equal, he's not afraid of anybody.
No.
Colby's not saying he's fought all of them. He's just fucking trying to play hardball, thinking he's worth more than he is.
Yeah, well, that's the name of the game these days, man. Just trying to get paid.
Yeah.
Let's call them a Lord of the Rings orc. That was pretty good. Yeah. PFL MMA is on ESPN2, ESPN Plus as well. All right. Fuck me, I lost my spot. There's a lot of comments. Appreciate you guys. Let me just get back where we're trying to be. All right. I hate to be that person, but in the Hispanic market, Combate does all right. It does, honestly, it does well in Hispanic market, but they've kind of put themselves in that corner, right? Like Hispanic market is large with boxing, but they're still working on getting the Latinos back, into watching MMA. Kane was a big deal, but getting hurt and then getting knocked out and then not being around, there hasn't been another one since.
See, for me though, I feel like that's the if I'm Kumbates,
Yeah,
what I want to do is control, like, who is it, man? Who is it? Like LFA, where the UFC poaches a ton of talent. Like basically, if you become a champion in LFA, you're on your way, right?
Signed, yeah.
There's like Jungle Fight in Brazil. There's several organizations where it's pretty much known if you become the champion, you defend the belt a couple times, that's your shoe in. What's Cage Warriors or Cage Rage, whatever the fuck over in England.
Cage
Same
Warriors,
sort of vibe. That's where they just got the little Patty the Batty prick from or whatever. If I'm Kumbates, instead of, I get that you want to have lofty goals, I fucking get it. But instead of trying to compete with Bellator or One or the UFC, at least for now,
right?
I would just try to be that for Mexico.
Right.
If there was talent in Mexico, I'd find it and I'd cultivate it and I'd turn them into stars. And then when the UFC was looking for Mexican talent, I would want to be their Mexican Invicta. And eventually, I know they sort of ran away from it, and I think maybe even they was on Fight Pass for a brief moment and got out of the deal or whatever. But I would sort of be running at that. Look, you're never, ever, ever going to compete with them. And as the old saying goes, if you can't beat them, join them. I would more rather just be like, okay, let us do the legwork in Mexico. Let us go find those young kids and those young girls. Let us put them in camps. Let us breed them to fight. And then let us like, yo, come watch our new show. We got our new talent. We got our champions. And then you kind of sort of poach our talent and take that Mexican talent into the UFC. And then that way you become a place for Mexican up-and-comers. Like, yo, you get to Kumbates because that's your way to the UFC. You get to Kumbates, you take 3 or 4 fights, you become the champion. Boom, all of a sudden the motherfuckers from the UFC are actually looking at you and watching you fight, and you're in. Right. So for me, that would be the vibe. Like, go ahead and just, there's a market for y'all to fill. Who else is really looking at Mexican MMA talent and cultivating it?
Right. Not many people. Yeah, not many promotions overall, really. But you're right. And they rebranded as Combate Global now. So I'm sure they're gonna start running around all Latin America, as they should, honestly. All right. PFL MMA is on ESPN. Oh, no, we already talked about that. Fuck. Oh, here we go. I can't wait for Romero versus Rumble. Me neither. That is super interesting to me. Super interesting.
And see, again, sort of pointing back to that shit,
UFC
though,
guys.
Two UFC guys, right? Now, that's a fire-ass fight, and I'm going to be Bellator like a motherfucker that night. Yeah. It's because it's 2 ex-UFC guys. I mean, it's sort of, you can't almost get away from that fucking shit.
It's going to be hard to do that for a long time, man. Until Bellator actually learns how to build and not just fucking tomato can, guys like MVP.
But that is a great fight, though. I am
awesome fight.
Excited for that fight. That's the fight where it's like, bitch, don't even touch me right now. Get away from me. Get away from me. When the bell dings, bitch, give me 10, 15 minutes. After, like you said, after the fight, it's on, like, get the Marvin Gaye, hit pause, hit that play as soon as we've had. It might be over in 2 minutes, but for now, fuck away from me.
Right. I just hope Rumble makes weight, dude. That dude's big ass motherfucker. That's that song. Controversy creates cash, Fred. That's why people are gonna watch Askren versus Paul. Right. That's weird. You know what's funny about that? Just real quick on that fight, which I forgot. Is that this weekend?
Oh no, I don't think so. I don't think it's that soon.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I don't think so though.
Either way, the thing about that is, like, the more I think about it, the more I think Askren's gonna fuck around and beat Paul in a boring ass way. But I think he beats him. Like, I think I don't know.
Okay, so
I'm picking Askren. I'm going to pick Askren.
Yeah, if we wanted to talk about this fight in a realistic way, not that it necessarily deserves it, but welcome to the Keyboard Wars. I think that Jake Paul will have fast hands.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'll be the better, cleaner boxer. But I think that either Jake Paul knocks Ben Askren out quickly,
Mm-hmm.
or Ben Askren fucks him up in a fight over the long run. Because I do think that, yes, when Jake Paul's in there boxing an NBA guy who's never really been in a real fight, that dude's that's why he was rushing in. One thing for sure won't happen. Ben Askren won't get nervous.
Right.
He won't rush in. He'll wait. He'll jab. He'll play his role. He'll try to get close. He knows, in my opinion, I mean, he's pretty much said as much. If he can get him tired, he'll beat the fuck out of him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as the great Cain Velasquez once said, I'm probably gonna ruin this shit like George Bush, but fatigue makes cowards of all men. So, like, I think that's probably what Ben Askren's banking on. All right, motherfucker, here's your first round. Let me Ali rope-a-dope you. Let me get in a little closer. You grab, you lean on you. The ref breaks us up. I give you a little shot in the belly, a shot in the rib. How long is the fight? Do we even know how many rounds it is by any chance?
It's not April 17th, by the way.
If it's like 8 to 10 rounds by some chance like that, if it's actually like even a remotely long fight, yeah, I think that maybe Jake Paul gets lucky and then the first round he just pieces Ben up and ends up knocking him out. That could happen. But I think more than likely, Ben sort of just fights him and gets him tired. And then in that second, third, fourth round, Jake Paul comes out like, holy shit, I'm in a real fight. And then I think Ben's just going to be like, Matt. I think it's like, oh shit, Ben Askren out there looking like Muhammad Ali. Because again, once you get tired, bro, I mean, and how many times have we seen that in MMA fights? Right. Devastating strikers who come out and they look great and they're like fucking the dude up in the first round. And then in the third round, that other guy is just beating on the dude because he's just completely out of gas and just can't even defend himself. I mean, we've seen it time and time again. It is a real strategy for a fight.
And that's exactly what I think is going to happen. Askren's going to come out, pull on his neck, little dirty boxing. And then, near the end of the rounds, when Jake Paul can't lift up his fucking big ass arms, it's just Askren with his, shitty ass track and just pop, done.
Yep.
All right.
I agree.
All right. Romero's Rumble is going to be fire. I saw Romero at Ventura Mall. He's looking juiced. Goddamn right.
Of course, he is fucking juiced.
What? He passed all the tests, man. I don't know. I hope he's not juiced, but if he is, I get it.
Oh, he's fucking juiced, and I don't mind him. He's in Bellator. Stop it.
Right. Smaller purse, more sponsors. Oh, talking about Jones, yeah. He get paid more money as far as Jones leaving the UFC for sure. Camel McLaren has the right idea. A big problem is their broadcast team. I mean, they got fucking Valerie Loretta as an analyst is a joke. She's not there to be an analyst. She's there to be seen. That's the idea. Hey, I get what you're saying. Same thing with who's the chick that Jesse hates with a passion? She's fighting for the title.
Juliana Pena.
Juliana Pena, not the greatest analyst, but she's a UFC fighter, and you can say that. So that's the whole idea. Age is no joke. We're talking about spring chicken, and Askren's knocking on the door of 40. Sure.
That's why I said, I do think that, Jake Paul could fuck around and piece him up in that first couple minutes. But I think that as the fight goes on, Ben Askren's going to keep his composure and eventually fuck Jake Paul up. I fucking hope so, for fuck's sakes.
Yeah, I don't want I
don't want to see Jake Paul knock Ben Askren out, goddammit.
That'd be awful, honestly. As expected as that would be for a lot of people. When McGregor fought Mayweather, I remember we were on the show like the show before that fight. I remember I kept saying, like, look, man, hate him or love him or let him hate him. McGregor's our guy. He's our guy going in there in someone else's sport. You kind of got to support him a little bit. And Paul has made himself so unlikable that it's really easy to root for Askren too.
You know what?
Which is a smart fucking idea by Paul.
I'm starting to think about this in a different light.
Okay.
Maybe as MMA fans, we should be rooting for Jake Paul. Just think about this.
Okay.
Think about this.
Yeah.
If Jake Paul does come out there and knock Ben Askren out, boom, knocks him out, fucking sleeps him, what do you think happens next?
He comes to MMA.
Well, maybe. Or or he gets a bigger name to come box him.
Ooh, you don't
And what
think.
I'm saying is,
You don't think.
no, not even. But eventually, like, look, you got Ben Askren, cute,
Right.
you cute. You got a guy that can't box at all, and you made him look bad. But eventually, you're gonna pick a Leonard Garcia, or you're gonna pick a Jorge, a Robbie Lawler. You're gonna pick somebody, and they're gonna beat the dog fuck out. Because here's the thing: if you do knock out Ben Askren, well, now you got to go up. You understand? Now you got to keep going up. The next guy, you can't. Who's got worse hands than Askren? You can't keep going down. And eventually, you're gonna fuck around and get what you wish for. You're gonna pick the wrong guy, and they're gonna beat the fuck out of you. What the fuck? Like, if Ben Askren don't do it, you don't. Well, I don't know where you go from there. But again, like, yeah, pick you a Robbie Lawler or somebody like that you feel like might be a little over the hill, and watch you get knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, the one guy he's not gonna get is McGregor, unless somehow. No. I mean, if this pay-per-view does like insane money with the Askren, I mean, look, I'm sure there's guys out there like Jorge Masvidal, all these other guys watching this shit, or they're gonna be watching the numbers on this pay-per-view. So the
only way that motherfucker's getting McGregor is if McGregor gets completely embarrassed by Poirier in June or July.
Right.
After that, then who knows? All bets are off. But if Conor happens to win that fight, Jake Paul can fuck right off. He ain't even in the running at that point no more. Conor, and it ain't gonna be fair at all, boys and girls. But Conor's gonna fucking leapfrog everybody at 55 and be off to the races.
Title shot like a motherfucker. All right, we got that one. What's up, John? I'm out, y'all. Then he's killing me. Then gotta get back to work. Good job as always. Appreciate it. He will, brothers. We just want to stop boxing right in the wall. We'll go all eight and Jake will take it. No, clearly we did not. We said if Jake Paul knocks out Ben Askren, like, it's not like McGregor's going to jump at the chance to fight him.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying that if Askren knocks out, or if Askren gets knocked out by Jake Paul, then Jake Paul is going to try to get a better fighter or somebody, and that's like, that might be better for us as MMA fans. Like, give you a false sense of security on how good you might actually be, and then you get a real fucking boxer or a dude that can actually go his head and get fucked up one good time.
I don't know why Robbie Lawler would Rob popped in my head, but I would love to see Robbie get in there with that dude. But we'll see.
Oh, Robbie would destroy him. But I mean, there's so many guys. I mean, I think Neil Magny would box his tits off, or like he's talked about Nate Diaz. Yeah. That you better hope Nate don't decide to want to do that for some weird reason, because that's the one. Or either one of those dudes. Those are the ones that would,
Yeah.
I mean, I hope they wouldn't even sanction that fight. All bullshit aside, those dudes, Nick and Nate, think what you will about those guys.
Right.
They can actually box. They would fuck the Paul brothers up.
100%. Did you see what Ben Askren did to Robbie Lawler? Total domination in an MMA fight? Yeah, sure. And
listen, total domination is fucking definitely not. I've seen the smiley faces there. Robbie was beating the dog shit out.
Robbie was fucking
that fight would have been stopped on 6 different continents, Jack. He was taking the fucking beating at the beginning of that fight.
Right.
Fuck, I was happy about that.
Dude, yeah. Jesus Christ. All right. Now I'm totally out of train. Let's talk Jon Jones then, I guess.
Yeah, let's talk Jon Jones. Let's get to it.
Jon Jones, and someone on his team, I want to say was Winklejohn. I think it was Winklejohn. I'm not 100% sure. Said that Jon Jones could get $50 million. Is worth $50 million in that fight with Ngannou. What do you think about that? Because I don't. $50 million for the Ngannou fight. Like, I know what he's saying. He wants to get his fighter paid and all that. But what exactly do you think is going on here with Jones in the UFC? Because it's to the point where they, look, this whole thing with the UFC put out, we're kicking the tires on Lewis and Ngannou. That's negotiation. That's sending Jones a message. Hey, we don't need you. We got Lewis. And if Lewis fucks around and knocks out Ngannou, your payday's gone. You're not getting nowhere near $50 million in the first place. You're damn sure not getting it now.
Right.
Yeah. So what do you think?
Look, man, I want to choose my words carefully here, because I do think that Jon Jones is the greatest fighter we've ever seen. I think he deserves the payday that he's been working towards. I also think that 50 million is fucking absurd. He's not going to get that sort of money. And to be quite fair, we would have to really ask ourselves how much of a quote unquote super fight this really is.
Right.
Hypothetically, without much, I should have had you do this before. Can you look up like Jon Jones' last 3 pay-per-views?
Ooh, I wonder if this is even available.
Hypothetically, if anybody in the comments, Otis, you're the man. If anybody has the numbers, what did his last 3 pay-per-views do? And consequently, if somebody would just be a doll and they had Ngannou's numbers for his last 3 pay-per-views, I'd be really curious what these gentlemen did on pay-per-view, because again, there's only one Conor McGregor. And he was sort of the person that really dove that needle. The real truth is, Conor McGregor and Brock Lesnar have really been the only 2, and Ronda Rousey have been the only 3 fucking people to ever compete in MMA that really drove that needle no matter who they fought. Now, there's been Anderson Silva and Jon Jones and a lot of fighters that could sort of do big numbers with the right dance partner. But what I'm getting at with asking these questions is, Jon Jones versus Francis Ngannou worth $50 million to the mainstream public? Does Joe Blow at B-Dubs really care that much about this fight? Because I don't know if they do. I don't think this fight necessarily. Now, look, if the UFC puts all the fucking bells and whistles to it, could they promote the shit out of it? Yeah, they could. But, would it do 2 million buys? I think nowhere near. It might do 1 million, maybe. But I don't know, man. Ngannou's definitely not a proven star, and I think Jon Jones's numbers are very indicative of who he fights. I think if I would, without knowing anything, I would imagine that the DC fights did really well. I would imagine that the Gus rematch did really well. I would imagine that anytime Jon Jones fought somebody with a name, it did really well. I would imagine that when John fought Anthony fucking Smith, it did, or 700,000, 700,000. I would imagine. I would imagine when he fought all 3 of the last fucking guys that he fought at 205, all those cats, I would imagine all those pay-per-views did okay. There's no way that any of them did 1 million. There's no fucking way. I'll suck your dick at Third and Main if Jon Jones versus fucking any of those 3 cats, fucking Anthony Smith, Thiago Santos, or the other Mexican prick towards the end that looked like the fucking bug off of Men in Black.
I'm totally out of it on that one.
Dominic Reyes.
There you go, Dominic Reyes.
None of those fucking
that's a fucking. All right, so I found a couple articles here talking about pay-per-view buys and comparing to John. So UFC 229, Khabib versus McGregor, reportedly did 2.4 million buys. Okay. Right. UFC 214, John's DC2, probably his most obviously his most heated rivalry, all the shit talk, coming off the first fight where Jones won by decision, 860,000. UFC 202, McGregor DS2, 1.65 million buys. UFC 182, DC Jones 1, 800,000 buys. 257, McGregor Poirier, 1.6 million. 232, Jones Gustafsson 2, 700,000, which is kind of expected at that point.
Bro, wait. Has Jones ever broke a mill?
I haven't found anything that says he's broke a mill ever.
On any fight ever.
I'm looking at Tapology has this like thing where it's like putting on the greatest ones. I don't see his name anywhere.
Dude, I hate to be
259 did 800,000. That's the Adesanya fight card with Polish Power Jan. And then they're saying that the estimated right now is 500,000 for Stipe Francis. Which, to be completely fair, they get automatically because ESPN guarantees them 500,000. So we don't have any official yet on that one. That one probably did like 100,000 because of Francis. But yeah, I'm gonna keep looking while you're talking, but I don't see anything with Jones that ever broke 1 million.
I mean, look, man, I think John deserves his payday. I also think he needs to be a little bit probably more reasonable. He's not, if you've never done 1 million pay-per-view buys, even with your biggest rival at your best, you never even broke 1 mil. I mean, I don't know. It's a tricky thing. Like, you deserve it, bro, but like the numbers don't really reflect it. Like, they're not about to give you 70% of the earnings of the whole fucking card, man. I mean, maybe they should, but like, it's just, that's not going to happen. The fight will never happen unless you're willing to bend a little. That's the reality. What the fuck? Like, if he's asking for 50 million, we all might as well get ready for Ngannou Lewis too, Jack.
I'll tell you what. Had Jones not popped hot for steroids, UFC 200 would have been his $1 million break. UFC 200 with Tate Nunes leading, 1 million buys. Then after that, Couture Lesnar did 1 million. Weidman Silva 2 did 1 million. Lesnar Velasquez did 1 million. Jackson Evans, Nunes Rousey. But like scrolling up on this, there's a handful of McGregor's, a couple of Diaz. Usman Masvidal did 1.3 million. Yeah, dude, straight up, like there's no Jones here that broke 1 million.
The problem is Jones never really marketed himself right, and that's just the truth. He did sort of try to play way too many sides of the fence. I mean, listen, the reason that we do all love McGregor, and I know we don't, some of us hate him too. The reason that McGregor and Diaz and Ronda Rousey and Brock Lesnar, the reason they were so popular and polarizing is because they was authentic. A lot of people hated him. Ronda Rousey was a real bitch. Brock Lesnar was the biggest dickhead in the world. The Diaz brothers are fucked. Nick threatened to smack Ariel. I mean, they are completely fucked. They're stoned on pot. And Connor's notorious. So,
sorry, Eddie Alvarez just lost due to illegal strike. 58 seconds, I think left in the first round.
Oh, interesting.
I'm gonna have to see what the fuck just happened. Yeah, go ahead.
But so, John should have just been honest about who the fuck he was from the jump street. And I think his whole career might have been a little different. I realized that he was sort of a married man with children, so he sort of couldn't do that. But I don't know. I feel like if Jon Jones would have came out and been the party animal and been the arrogant person that he sort of is, I feel like we would have all liked him for it, and he would have had so much more of a fan base. I mean, it's just he's played this weird Christian tough guy, but he does coke and not cheats on his wife, but then acts like he's all about God. And
that's my problem with Jones. People hate Daniel Cormier because he's not real. He was trying to be to this and to that. Motherfucker Jones. Nobody did it like Jones, in my opinion. Jones came out just like, I'm all about Jesus, and I would never do this and that. Meanwhile, banging whores and hookers and doing blow in the backyard and shit and crashing into poles and whatnot, which honestly would have sold way better.
Yeah, and the ironic thing about it, right, wrong, or whatever, morally, however you want to put it, if that dude would have just came out and been himself and been like, I'm the youngest champion in the world. He sort of did it in the one interview with Ariel Helwani. Yeah, he was like, sort of like, I'm a wild boy. He needs to just keep that energy and just keep that vibe and be like, I'm the baddest motherfucking alpha male walking this planet. I like to enjoy myself. I like to get fucked up. I have since college. You think the fucking Diaz brothers smoke weed. I'll smoke both of them under the table. I smoke more blunts than both of those dudes. And I do blow. I did blow the night before I fucking beat fucking DC's ass. Like, I've been snorting coke since I was in college. I get down, James Brown. I get fucked up. And I'm still the baddest motherfucker. And what? Like, I just feel like if he talked that shit and built this persona up and ran with it or something, it'd be different. Right. But the reality is he hasn't. And he doesn't sort of have that selling ability. Listen, again, do I think Jon Jones deserves a big payday? Absolutely. You'd be a fool not to at this point. But 50 million, come on, man. You might be fucking just asking for something that's just a bit out of reach, especially considering who you have here. Look, 50 million, bro. Connor barely made that for boxing Floyd Mayweather, dog. I think the number was like 60 or 80 million that he got for boxing Floyd. That was the biggest combat sports fight of all time. Yep. John, baby girl, I love you. But if y'all sign the Francis John fight tomorrow, the truth is I can name 10 fights right now that we would, excuse me, that we collectively as MMA fans would have been way more excited for. The rematch with Chael Sonnen and Anderson Silva, the rematch with Brock Lesnar and Frank Mir. I mean, those were bigger fights, maybe not bigger, but they would have been way more anticipated. If they do Jon Jones Francis tomorrow, yes, all of us fight nerds and all of us real big MMA heads are going to be like, oh my God, that's such a huge fight.
Right.
But the reality is, in the grand scheme of the UFC, like there's been so many more fights fucking that just were way sexier on paper and so much more of a bigger deal. Like that it just 50 million, bro, you're out of your mind. Like
Right.
this ain't that fight, dog. You'd have to be fucking Tyson Fury would have to come fight you in a cage for you to give 50 million, dog. Like there's just, you guys aren't going to sell nowhere near them amount of pay-per-views, man.
Jones is gonna fuck around and price himself out if he actually wants this fight. Jones is gonna fuck around and like price himself out of this fight. Again, this means nothing as far as like, oh, Jones is scared of Ngannou. He's fucking not. All right, Jones has 13 years of experience on this dude, and I'm telling you right now, I would pick Jones to beat Ngannou by decision, probably or by submission. But like he's gonna price himself out of this shit and mess around and have Lewis knock out Ngannou on some freak shit
and ruins the whole thing. And yes, and yeah. Let me make it clearly obvious. I think in no way is he afraid.
No,
I just think he's being arrogant and asking for too much money. I mean, I hope they just get the deal done. Like if the UFC's like, we'll give you 10, you're asking for 50. All right, come on, 18, 19. Let's do something in the middle. Like, come on, John, you're not getting 50, bro. Are you out of your fucking mind? And don't spare me on the NBA numbers, the NFL numbers of what Floyd got in his life.
Different market, dude.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Like, bro, you're not getting 50. But okay, you probably deserve a lot more than you got for your last fight. So let's find something in between there, guys. Both of y'all, like, be a little fucking more reasonable here. John, 50's ridiculous. Dana, 5's ridiculous. There's a lot of fucking room in between 50 and 5, boys. Let's fucking find somewhere in the fucking middle there that makes a little bit of economic sense for everybody. Because the fight will do probably around 1 million buys. They'll charge $70. There'll be a gate. They'll rack in about 80, 90 million for it. So it's like, all right, give John his 22, give Francis 5 or 10 or 15, depending on if he happens to knock John's funny ass out. You're also going to have to pay the co-main event. You got to pay for all the other bullshit, the COVID testing, the whole fucking most of it. Again, there's a lot of fucking, money that goes into making these things happen that people don't see. A lot of fucking, how many people you think work for the UFC the night of the fight that are getting paid $20, $30 an hour to fucking, whatever the fuck, check people's fucking peanuts, sell their fucking, whatever the fuck, man. Like that's a well-oiled machine, dog. But there's enough meat on the bone. They should be able to get that deal done.
They should. All right. Catching on some more comments here. Oh, this is the UFC wants their Tyson. Yeah, sure. No one is doing 1 million in UFC anymore with them posting highlights right away. This people still pay for it. Look, everyone always asks me, like, how come it's so expensive? It's like, dude, because someone's paying for it. That's why. If they weren't paying $70 some dollars for a pay-per-view, the price wouldn't be that much.
But you know what though? You could say argue the opposite. Maybe the price is going up because less people are buying, and like we got to compensate in some way. Like the motherfuckers that are going to buy regardless, and the rest of these motherfuckers that are streaming just ain't. Period. Anyways.
Yeah. Right. Let's see what else we got. If he had more sponsors, he would be promoted more. But his rep killed him. Cocaine hit and run star who wants to see the liar. A lot of people want to see a liar, honestly. Like this, like again, if he was himself, the cocaine and all that kind of stuff and steroids and all that shit and the hookers and everything would honestly make him more popular. He
would have the bigger fights. I mean, he's got the credentials to do it. He just doesn't have that sort of Nate Diaz. Like, imagine if Conor McGregor had Jon Jones's record.
Bro.
Can you imagine if Conor still to this day had never been beaten?
Oh my God.
The money he would make a fight, like if he was actually as good as John is, like he would own the fucking world. I tell you what, Dana White, people always be like, Dana White always probably want Conor to win. They're probably thankful as fuck that Conor got beat a couple times. What the fuck? If he would have kept winning, he'd fucking own half the UFC by now.
I'll tell you this: with if McGregor was undefeated right now, that whole McGregor Sports and Entertainment would be a promotion by now.
No shit.
It'd be a promotion right now. All right, a couple more comments, and we gotta talk about this. Oh, here we go. UFC should do a streaming service for like $15 a month that includes pay-per-view, Tough, whatever else UFC offers. That was the whole idea of the UFC Fight Pass. As we thought it was the idea, but they're never gonna go. They're never gonna go. They're never gonna go away from the, or at least not anytime soon, away from the pay-per-view model. Because people keep paying it, man. It's just what you know what I mean, and that's why they're going after the streamers and all sorts of stuff. And I wish they did a streaming service, but dude, we just saw the WWE Network move over to Peacock, the NBC app.
Yeah, that's weird.
I don't know what WWE Network has now, but we were praising them for finding a way to give their fans everything for $10 a month. And now they're basically stripped WWE Network butt naked and are going on NBC on Peacock. I mean, if you want to watch WrestleMania in the States, from what I understand, you got to have the Peacock app.
And listen, the truth is they're doing that because something didn't pan out right.
Something didn't work out.
They ain't doing it because they were making money hand over fist, owning everything they sell, or they would have kept it like that.
Keep in mind that their product has diluted badly since the Attitude Era, since like The Rock and Stone Cold. It's gone crazy. So, all right, moving on. Let's talk about what else did we have before? Okay, real quick on Tough because we're running out of time already. Tough Ortega Volkanovski. Bad, in my opinion, bad match. Not bad match as far as the fight goes. I still want to watch that fight. But as far as like, and I don't watch, you know me, I don't watch Tough anymore. I wait till they have the fight and I watch the fight and I move on. But why? Why go to Tough?
At this point, the UFC should probably just go ahead and sign Daddy Fred, for as much as I'd be taking up for him about you fucking goddamn heathen hardcore Nazis. But listen, I see it, right? We're all like, what the fuck? We couldn't have came up with some better code. Now we're going to hold up this great fight. Neither one of these guys, or maybe Brian Ortega, but Volkanovski, like, nobody's clamoring to see these fucking two guys coach. I would argue, though, that before we all get out the fucking pickaxes and the forks, I'm sure they tried to do Colby Masvidal. I'm sure they tried to do Colby Usman. I'm sure they tried a bunch of other things and nothing really worked out. And they were like, fuck it. This'll do. They're down to do it. It's a champion. It's a championship fight. Let's rock and roll. Like, I doubt this was their first choice, to be fair. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, is it great? No. It doesn't hold up a good fight. Yes. Like, do I love the idea of these cats coaching? Not really at all. But to be fair, I highly doubt this was the UFC's first choice to coach. No.
Real quick, with the Eddie Alvarez Dq, there's actually a video of it on Twitter from one championship itself, so I'm assuming we're able to show it. So here you go. So here's the idea. So they're on the ground. You see Eddie Alvarez doing the Habib leg wraparound shit. And here's what DQs at Eddie. Right to the back of the head. Like maybe one or two. What do you think of that? That's kind of to the side, dude. Like maybe he landed one to the back of the head.
Well, and then I don't know. I don't think he should have been disqualified. Couldn't they like taken a point or something, stood him up or something like that? Because a couple of the first two of them, and old John McCarthy's, whatever the fuck, it's the Mohawk sort of vibe. They were sort of behind the Mohawk region.
It's supposed to be like the line. It's literally it's the dumbest fucking like way to like measure back of the head, but it's supposed to be the line in the back of your head. He was hitting to the left of that or to the side of that. So to me, it wasn't.
Almost like miscommunication. I feel like the ref should have just been like, watch the back of the head, Eddie. Watch the back of the head. And if you continually keep hitting the motherfucker, like
John goes, one championship's all rigged. Maybe shit. I don't think so, but we'll see. I mean, we won't see. I don't think so, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was.
Right. Yeah, he should have been like, yo, stop. Like after the first one, like, don't just let him do it and then disqualify him for fuck's sakes. What the fuck?
Exactly. You intervene and you tell him, hey, cut that shit out. But there'll be plenty to talk about that on that. But that is already the first strike against one on TNT. Because they're like, you gotta stop for that. What the fuck are we watching? Click.
Yep. That wasn't exactly it.
I would love to see the live numbers of people watching right now. I guarantee just take a dive. It's the old Japan organization. No, that's Ryzen. This one is
Chinese.
Shit. No, Singapore.
That's in China, right?
Singapore?
I think so. Singapore, China.
I'm retarded, so I don't remember.
Oh no, I think so.
I'm not good at geography. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. But I get what he's saying. Yeah, he's got a point. All right, let's see. And then real quick, because somebody asked me to talk about this on Twitter. The whole thing with Schmo and Henry Cejudo. So DC and the Nose got this, commemorative, like championship belt, ESPN Broadcasting Championship belt for their 1 year anniversary. And the one thing that the Nose does, like an idiot, in my opinion, throws it over his shoulder, takes a picture for Twitter and Instagram, whatever, saying who wants some with his mean face on, right? Keep in mind, Helwani does not train for shit on anything. So apparently the Schmo's been calling him out for years. By the way, bitch, get in line, asshole. And you're way behind me. All right. There's 30 guys in front of me. You're guy, I'm 31. You're guy 600 that wants to beat his ass. So shut the fuck up. But he's all to throw down, do this stuff. Helwani's not fighting anybody. I need to cut that shit out. And it gets old. The first time he did it, it was hilarious. I'm like, hell yeah, call him out. That's funny. But now it's kind of move on, dude. This is stupid. That being said, I would love to see him. I would love to be the one to kick his ass, but still. All right. So that's just someone wanted us to talk about that. It's a joke. It's dumb. Let's see. I think they're on to the main event right now. One hasn't finished yet. So, and I don't even have it up. I just have the results page up. All right. Let's talk about this weekend real quick before we get out of here. Very quickly. Nice free card this week. Well, free card this weekend.
Spaghetti Man.
Jesus Christ. I can't. It's funny because I read that Spaghetti Man thing and I was kind of Spaghetti Man, whatever. And then you mentioned it and I was like, yeah, that's a little fucked up.
He's Italian.
God damn it, Abby. Although I do what Till said. It's he hasn't been in California for a long ass time now. You're not Italian. All right. First fight of the night, ESPN Plus. Obviously, the whole card's ESPN Plus. I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, ABC. Sorry, it's an ABC card. Wow, I'm totally out of it.
Oh, shit. Sure.
Yeah, it's ABC card.
Fair enough.
Yeah, Impa Kasangane against Sasha Palatnikov, kicking off the entire event. And on ESPN, the prelims have just a couple names on here. Jorgen De Castro, the heavyweights. John McDessie's on here again.
Jack Shore.
Undefeated
kid.
Yes, sir. Scott Holtzman against Mateusz Gamrot. And then a main.
Jim Miller.
Jim Miller's back, taking on Joe Selecki. Big fight for Selecki here. Jim Miller's a huge name. Yeah, dude. So he's still doing it, man. 37 years old.
And tough. Jim Miller's that dude. Don't sleep on him. Don't be Jim Miller's that cat that even if he is a little old, you better bring your fucking A game.
Look, Jim Miller fought through Lyme disease.
Yeah.
Through Lyme disease.
Remember, Jim Miller has a submission win over Charles fucking how do you pronounce this prick's last name? Oliveira? Oliveira. Yeah. Yeah, Jim Miller has a fight. He's got a submission win, a knee bar, if I'm not mistaken, over Charles Oliveira. Now, right. It was 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
But I remember that fight because I remember being like, oh shit, Jim Miller don't want to end up on the ground. And then they hit the ground, and I was like, oh shit, Jim. And then Jim submitted dude, and I was like, oh shit. Jim Miller's I knew Jim's jiu-jitsu was sort of nasty, but Jim Miller's jiu-jitsu is for real nasty. What the fuck?
And again, fighting through Lyme disease. That's fucking insanity. All right. Then main card kicks off Mike Perry against Daniel Rodriguez. Mike Perry went after John Morgan from Get the Fuck Out. Someone hit me up on someone just messaged me saying never thought I'd live the day to see the day DJ gets dominated. Is DJ getting dominated?
I mean, Wouldn't surprise me all that much.
I'm gonna have to go. Or DJ. Okay, Otis is freaking out. I'm assuming DJ pulled off some mousetrap shit.
Mm.
All right, dude. What happened? I'm gonna have to go fucking look it up in a second.
Yeah. Tell us. I'm curious now.
Yeah, tell us. Now I need to know what exactly happened with DJ because he said he was getting dominated. That's weird. All right. Sorry, completely off track. Mike Perry was talking to John Morgan of MMA Junkie, talking about like you need to cut the sugars out and the carbs out and shit. I'm just like, look, he calling John Morgan fat. I mean, he is, but damn.
Yeah, he's also not there to be anything other than a fat journalist.
Sort of. I mean, he gets the first like 2 or 3 questions every time. Then the mom fight. Nina Ansaroff taking on Mackenzie Dern. Sam Alvey still doing it, taking on Julian Marquez. This is actually a pretty good fight right here.
Yeah, it is.
Like if you want to see, what do they call it, slobber knocker and shit.
Yeah.
This is the one. Arnold Allen trying to get some of that get back after his name kind of dying down a little bit, taking on Sodiq Yusuff. This is a good fight right here.
That's a great fight, actually.
Mm-hmm. Sodiq, I'm expecting big things out of Sodiq in this fight. Yeah. And I know Arnold Allen has a lot of fans and everything, but Sodiq is dope. Then Marvin Vettori taking on Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland, after getting his ass beat because he was talking way too goddamn much, and against not Usman. Who am I thinking? Brunson.
Derek Brunson. Yeah.
Brunson. Yeah. What do you think about that fight? Who you picking?
I'm going to pick Kevin Holland. I'm going to pick Kevin Holland, and I'm going to say that I think this is a fantastic decision by Kevin Holland. Because listen, if he loses, so the fuck what? He was already coming off a loss where his steam had sort of got taken out of his cell a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But if he wins, he gets a big win, and he gets to look back at that Derek Brunson fight and go, yeah, I lost, but really I got out wrestled. Give me a minute. Let me try to shore that up. I can beat that guy. He didn't get dominated by Derek Brunson. I mean, he did sort of, but it's not like he was just getting the shit beat out of him. He just lost the wrestling. You know what I mean? Like the takedowns were everything. When they were on their feet, he was low-key fucking up fucking Derek Brunson. So that's not necessarily a horrible performance that you can't build upon. If he can come out and actually knock Marlon Vettori out, who will probably fight him more along on his terms, who will give him more of an opportunity to knock him out, I think this could be a fantastic move for Kevin Holland. This might be just what the doctor ordered for him to sort of put that little nasty fucking lay and pray that Derek Brunson pulled on him in the past and just be like, fuck that dude. He pulled the old wall and stall the lay and pray. I'll fix that shit and I'll beat his ass next time we fight.
Right. No, it's fucking hell. Oh shit. This I'm trying to find what happened with DJ because Otis is probably still losing his mind somehow. But Eddie Alvarez is crying his ass off after his fight. I get it, man. Oh, here we go. All right, let's see. I'm gonna pull out the video as a stop of the DJ fight, I guess, because I guess someone got stopped. Here we go. Anyway, as far as Vettori goes,
here it is.
Hey, I got you. Let me
Adriano
on the screen here.
You got it. I was gonna say.
Here it is. All right, here we go. Ready?
Yep.
Here we go. Oh shit! He dropped him. Ooh, knee to the head. That's it. Wow.
Is that legal in one?
Yeah.
Even in America?
The right hand dropped DJ.
But then he kneed him in the head, right?
Knee to the head.
And that's legal though?
I guess that's legal.
Even in America?
It's not America. It's not. This isn't
Oh, it's just being aired on TNT.
Yeah, it's on TNT. But it's not.
Okay. I got you. Oh,
damn. Well, MMA, folks. That's what we love it.
And honestly, in a weird way, that's probably the worst thing that could have happened for one, though, because like now all the American fans are like,
who is Moraes? Who's this Moraes guy? Who?
Yeah.
We know who he is, but. Damn, boy. Both UFC guys lost today. One by disqualification, one got knocked the holy fuck out.
Yeah, that's not great.
Look, man, hey, people are going to start talking shit about this is really your GOAT? Is your GOAT? Everybody loses at some point. everyone's gonna lose. I know Khabib went undefeated and all that, great, but at some point, had he kept going, or should he keep going? Maybe.
Yeah, I agree. I love Habib, but if Habib fought another 9 times over the course of the next 2 or 3 years, the chances of him losing one of those are pretty phenomenal at some point. Like he sort of, he retired undefeated, but he also sort of, he retired pretty fucking young.
Right. John Morgan got to go. Same with Shimon Helwani.
I mean, listen.
I met John Morgan, really nice guy. But he's not on TV and he's not on podcasting talking about how good he is. He definitely didn't step on a bunch of smaller people to get to where he is, like the nose. All right, it's real talk. We're talking Schmo. Like I said, he's with the right person. So, I'm not saying it's fake. I'm just saying he's in the right spot at the right time. And then I would like to see Mason. What's up, dude? I would like to see Brunson versus Costa.
I ain't mad at it. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. They don't Costa got somebody coming up. Who's Costa fighting?
I don't. Oh,
I forget. I feel like he got a fight coming up,
he fell out of the Bobby Knuckles fight.
Okay, maybe that's what I was thinking. Maybe I wouldn't be mad at it.
Eddie got DQ for rabbit punches. He got DQ for the back of the head, which is weird. Knee to the head, totally okay. I mean, knee to the head, but down a point, totally okay.
And
rabbit
like
punches, come on,
those punches obviously weren't consequential in the fight either. Homeboy wasn't like rocked from them or nothing. Like that was fucked. Like what?
All right, folks. It's been a fun one. Appreciate the help. Anything else you want to talk about before we go?
No, I think. Quickly, the Venom deal, the Venom fight kits. Just quickly, we don't got to go too much into it.
Sure.
Now, people have been talking about the fight kits and like blah blah blah. Do you like them? Do you hate them? Boo boo. I seen a picture of them. When people are asking, "Do you like the fight kits?" Are they talking about like as far as the competitors competing in them, or as in like we would buy those things to wear?
I don't know.
Because like if they're just talking about how they look for the fighters to fight in, fair enough. They look just as serviceable as the Reebok shit. Like it looks that they're all right. But like if it's that's the shit they're trying to like sell. Yeah, like I don't know. Yeah,
it looks to me. It looks just like the fucking Reebok stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it looks whatever. It's fine. Like it looks pretty much the same as it did. But as far as like selling it to fucking people, I don't like. I'm not.
I didn't buy Reebok kits, and I'm not buying Venom kits.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Like as far as the fighters go themselves, like
as far as the pay goes, they literally added this much to it, so it's not a much better deal overall.
Yeah,
I'm sure the UFC's getting nice, whatever, but whatever, man. It is what it is. All right, folks, that's gonna do it for us tonight. Appreciate the hell out of every single one of you guys. Otis, Tex, Laura's here. Adam Woods, appreciate you, bro. Who else do we have? John Smith, appreciate you hanging out, dude. You hung out the whole time, appreciate it. Who else we got? Daniel Rodriguez, who texted me about the DJ fight. Mason, appreciate you. The days of fighter trunks looking like NASCAR are gone. I love those days and I miss them, but it's over. Honestly, I didn't really care for the shorts back then, or any of the sponsorship stuff. I just liked that the fighters had more money. So is what it is. And then of course, Mason, appreciate you. All right, guys. Anyone that tunes in, watches, we appreciate the hell out of every single one of you guys. Shout out to everyone that hits up on Facebook and Twitter. Of course, you guys know all the socials. KeepItWarriors.MMA.com for all the shows. 41983 for Jesse, at Kirby_MMA for Fred, and I'm at Eli32. Of course, RepTheWarriors.com, SpicerPros.com for the sponsorship, for the sponsors and all that. Appreciate you guys. All right. For myself, Fred, everybody in the crew, good night. And of course, good night, Wilshire.